Pioneer Hybrid Australia prides itself on delivering seed of the highest quality to Australian farmers and processors. With a range that includes hybrid crops of corn, sorghum, forage sorghum and sunflowers, as well as varieties of lucerne, canola and oats, Pioneer has been producing in Australia since 1975.
Leading growers are selected to produce Pioneer brand seed under contract on farms throughout Australia, with many growers producing seed for Pioneer for more than 20 years. Production paddocks are chosen because of their crop and weed history, reliable irrigation, and suitable isolation from similar crops flowering at the same time. Some production crops are required to be up to 3 kilometres isolation distance from neighbouring crops to ensure the purity of the seed that goes into the bag. Pioneer's trained agronomists visit production paddocks throughout the season, providing agronomic advice and ensuring the seed produced is of the highest standards for purity and quality. Crop management, weeds, weather and insects can all affect quality and must be closely monitored. Hybrid seed production involves crossing of 2 inbred parent lines to produce the hybrid seed sold to farmers. In this forage sorghum production crop, 4 rows of the male and 12 rows of the female were planted across the paddock. This allows proper pollination and seed set. In some cases, one of the parents may be longer maturing and is planted up to 2 weeks before the other to ensure the best synchronization at flowering. To ensure genetic purity, crops are rogued during the growing season to remove any off-types. The hybrid production system for sorghum, sunflowers and canola uses cytoplasmic male sterility to prevent pollen production in the female plants, thus allowing cross-pollination. However, in normal corn production, the tassels of each female plant need to be manually removed before pollination. This ensures silks from the female plant are pollinated only from the male plants. Work is also being conducted on sterile female plants that do not produce pollen. A number of hybrids currently being sold in Australia can be produced with a sterile female parent. Agronomists monitor the production crop and advise on the best harvest date. During corn production, the crop is harvested at high moisture contents of 30 to 34%. Unlike other crops that are direct-headed before delivery to the conditioning plant, corn is harvested on the cob, which gets the seed out of the field 4 to 6 weeks earlier than conventional grain harvesting techniques to minimise any in-field quality deterioration from disease, insect attack, drying stresses and adverse weather. Seed yields from hybrid seed production are generally much lower than yields from commercial crops due to inbred depression, and only the seed off the female rows is harvested and delivered as hybrid seed. The male plants are either slashed prior to harvest or taken for grain and sold by the farmer. After the seed is harvested, it is transported to the Pioneer conditioning plant located at Narromine in central New South Wales. Pioneer chose Narromine as its production and conditioning base in 1975. The region is part of the reliable irrigation areas of the Macquarie and Lachlan valleys, with good isolation from potential outcrossing crops. The relatively low humidity makes it an ideal location to condition and store seed, and is also assisted in reduced disease pressure for high-quality seed production. Over many years, Pioneer has built up a team of dedicated specialist seedsmen and women at Narromine. The plant has grown to become a multi-million-dollar facility, capable of conditioning Pioneer's Australian seed needs, as well as servicing an expanding export market. In fact, the Pioneer seed that is grown in Australia is now exported throughout the world. A smaller parent seed conditioning plant is also located at Narromine. This plant is responsible for processing the male and female parent lines of hybrids and first-generation varieties. Parent seed is the genetic base of all Pioneer products and is locked in a cool room for storage and security. The Narromine facility has more than 140 silos on site with a capacity of 7,500 tonnes to store over 50 individual hybrids and varieties. Seed is stored in bulk and continually monitored for moisture and quality. Safety is a top priority of Pioneer employees, and the plant has a staff member dedicated full-time to ensure this key goal is achieved. The seed conditioning facility has been designed to accommodate the varied products produced by Pioneer in Australia. Harvested seed is transported to the Narromine plant and documented on arrival. With corn, the high moisture cobs are unloaded onto the walking floor and gently edged towards the conveyor belt. The cobs travel into the corn facility and across the husking beds to remove any leaf and vegetative matter covering the cob. Following this process, the cobs flow onto the sorting table, where any tight husks or diseased cobs are manually removed. Cobs that have passed through this visual inspection continue onto another conveyor belt to the natural gas-fired corn dryer. The two-pass dryer has a capacity of between 250 to 300 tonne of cobs when full, and slowly dries the grain down over a period of 4 to 5 days. This controlled dry down ensures minimal cracking and damage to the seed. After drying, the cobs are returned to the corn facility, where the kernels are removed during the shelling process. The cleaning process begins through an aspirator, which sucks air through the seed from underneath, taking dust and light matter with it. Gravity tables are also used successfully to separate lighter material from the heavier seeds. This process also assists the removal of lighter, poorer quality seed and any residual foreign matter. Products such as corn and sunflower are taken through specially designed screens and graded into different size categories. Screens are also used to separate weed seeds and other foreign matter. In lucerne, velvet rollers were specially installed to remove weed seeds that are a similar size, shape and weight to lucerne seed. If the weed continues through the screen cleaners and gravity table, it's removed during the velvet roller phase, when the roller is able to snag the different coat texture. To assist this process, weed seeds are then sent to the on-site laboratory for identification. The conditioning plant is cleaned down thoroughly after each line is put through. This cleaning process can take up to a day to ensure no cross-contamination between seed lines occurs. After seed is conditioned, it is ready for customized seed treatments and the bagging process. During 2002, Pioneer launched the Gold Strike technology for lucerne. This process further enhances the quality of the seed for improved establishment success. Gold Strike pre-inoculates the seed with specific Rhizobia bacteria strains and provides protection using a new polymer-based seed coat. Before the seed is available for sale, it must pass the stringent germination and quality control and assurance tests conducted in-house by Pioneer's quality testing lab. At every stage of the drying, storage, conditioning and bagging process, seed is randomly sampled for germination, purity and vigour testing in the laboratory. These tests ensure a seed line meets quality standards our customers have come to expect. The majority of Pioneer products have minimum germination levels of 85%, with some lines such as canola, lucerne, sunflower and corn at 90% or over. Germination and other details are transferred from the laboratory onto tags that are then sewn into the bags. As with all processes in the facility, each process is documented and, in some cases, barcoded to ensure accuracy. The Narromine conditioning facility is registered as part of ISO 9002 quality control system. Once a seed line has passed through the laboratory, it's ready for bagging. Bags are filled, weighed, stitched and labelled in the one process and then placed on a pallet ready for general distribution. The location of Narromine close to major transport routes means seed can be shifted to the majority of Australian farming regions within 12 to 48 hours.
Seed quality is a top priority for Pioneer Hybrid Australia. From the production paddock through harvest, conditioning, bagging and distribution, every step ensures the highest quality seed is available for Australian farmers.